I know owning a house is a dream for everybody. Heck, it's a dream for me. I'm very blessed that we have a house, but it sucks. There is always something that has to be replaced. Always.
I wanted to dive into a topic that's near and dear to me: adulting. Specifically, buying a house. I was pursuing the World Wide Web and I found multiple videos about people who just bought a house and are already having a total meltdown. We're talking tears, panic. It's very sad. It's a classic case of expectation versus reality. It's like when you order the sizzling fajita platter at a restaurant and it comes out with no sizzle. That's what's happening to these new homeowners. Their sizzle has fizzled. So we're going to watch these videos. We'll explore the deep psychological reasons behind their regret. Honestly, it's a moot point whether the interest rate is 6 or 7% if your emotional portfolio is in the red. Alright, let's check out the first video.
I'm in the process of buying my very first house as a 28-year-old with no kids and not married. I am in a relationship. I close in 7 days and I feel like I should be super excited right now and happy, but in reality, I am terrified and I am so nervous and I want to back out, but it is literally way too late in the process for me to back out. And I've missed my last chance to do that. And so now I am just like sitting here and regretting my decision, but we're just gonna have to make it work. We're gonna have to figure it out. And yeah, I'm gonna be house poor. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna afford food. I don't know how I'm gonna afford gas. I don't know what I'm doing. Who let me do this? Who let me do this?
Okay, so a 28-year-old buying a house. I think that's pretty amazing. Well, first of all, she's not married, no kids, but she is in a relationship. And that's like what people say, putting the horse before the carriage. The house is the foundation of the family. But then she's getting the classic cold feet. You know, she's terrified, she wants to back out. I think everyone's got this feeling at least once in their lives. It's like when you bring something to a potluck. You feel too much pressure, there's too much expectations. You think that, what if people don't like what I bring? What if it's too much or too little? What if I bring the same thing that someone else did? It's a huge commitment. But you know what? You just gotta have faith in the process. Now, she's saying that it's too late to back out. I'm sorry, but yeah, it is. So she regrets her decision. But the thing is that regret is a wasted emotion, if you really think about it. It's like when you have leftover fried chicken. So it's great when you first think of buying fried chicken, but then you actually purchase it and it's like $30 more than you wanted to spend. And then the drive home was an hour long because you decided to go during rush hour. And then you get home and then it's all cold and soft. I mean, like, I'd still eat it, but you can't dwell on the past. You gotta look forward. I remember one time I ordered non-ergonomic keyboards for my entire family. Total disaster. Dude, all of our wrists were on fire. Could I have backed out of the purchase order? I don't think so. Did I have the option to? I mean, they always give you the option to. But the more important question, did I regret it? I did, but for a single minute. Because then we adapted, we learned new ways to type, and we became stronger for it. It was a family building exercise when you think about it. We suffered together. And that, my friends, is what matters in the end. So she says that she's house poor. She doesn't know how she'll afford food or gas. So first thing, learn to love instant ramen. It's seriously the food of winners. That I can guarantee that you will never regret. Second thing, dude, you gotta start carpooling. That's exactly why we have friends. When things get tough, reach out to a friend. But like, make sure that when they reach out, you also have to help and to not pretend that you're at work. So she asks the golden question, who let me do this? The final question after every questionable decision. That is the question of our generation. But honestly, who lets any of us do anything? Who let me feed the family dog last week? That was a very bold choice, you know? I think this is a pretty good case of imposter syndrome. Sometimes at work, I'd sit on my desk with all my coffee mugs and my perfectly organized stack of notebooks, and I'd think to myself, do I really deserve to be the anchor of this office? It is a heavy crown, but I still do carry it. But you know what? Someone's got to do it. And this person, she just got to step up. She needs to find her inner warrior. In Gladiator, they say that every man dies, but not every man really buys a house. And that is so true.
I'm gonna keep it 100%. Home ownership is not what I expected it to be. Honestly, if I had my time back, I would never in a million years have bought a condo. I regret it so much. It's one of the biggest regrets of my life. Renting, you have that like stress-free, no worry in the world. If something in my condo breaks, it's my responsibility to fix that issue. If I'm renting, I just call up my property manager, landlord, whoever, and just say, hey, this is broken, this appliance isn't working. It's their responsibility to send somebody in and fix that ASAP. When you're a homeowner, you're the one that has to do the research on finding someone to come in. You're the one that has to take the time and make sure everything's working smoothly. It's such a headache. I'll give you an example. Today, I had the unit below my condo say that they have a leak in their washroom. It's my responsibility to call a plumber, contact the property manager, and make sure it's fixed. And when you're a renter, that's not my problem. Like, my landlord will fix that problem. I'm paying rent, and that's a wrap. That's where my responsibility finishes. If I could turn back time, I would never have bought. I would have just stayed a renter. And honestly, the extra money that I would have had, I don't have to pay property taxes, I don't have to pay for repairs. Extra money, I would have poured it into investments. And future me would have been a lot better off. Just something to keep in mind, home ownership the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Just a fruit for thought. You guys have a great day. Bye.
I think they're looking at this all wrong. Don't look at home ownership like it's a burden, but more of a privilege. Like being asked to chaperone your nephew's kindergarten class. Is it a lot of work? Yep. Is there a lot of pressure on you to perform? Of course. But do you get to look like the coolest person in the world? Yep. Remember, it's a con do, not a con don't. She's saying that renting is stress-free. Then I ask, is it? You can't paint the walls your favorite color like orange. You can't change the light fixtures into strobe lights for your house parties. You're living in someone else's playground playing their rules. To me, that's not freedom. That's the opposite of freedom. That's bullying. And then there's a whole landlord thing. I'm sorry, but when you're king of the playground and you're playing your own made-up rules and playing your own made-up games like basketball, I am not joining. And for the leak, think of it like a networking event. She gets to call a plumber, which can turn into a new business contract. Then she can talk to her downstairs neighbor, which can turn into a new friend. You never know where your next great connection will come from. It's all about synergy. She said that she would have poured it into investments. And then she said that future her would have been a lot better off. So listen, to me, you can't live your whole life for future you. You have to take care of present you. Future you doesn't have to deal with the soul-crushing carpet your landlord refuses to replace. Present you does. Honestly, I think it's all about tangible assets. It's like what that famous rich guy said in the movie The Wolf of Wall Street. I think it was Jordan Fox. And he said, greed is good. For buying a condo, you can paint whatever color you want. And that is so powerful. She needs someone to show her that the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it. And throw down some fertilizer and put little gnomes everywhere.
I see so many of y'all are like, it's not fair, the interest rates need to drop, I want to buy a house, I want to be a homeowner. And I don't know if y'all have ever been to the home inspection side of TikTok, but I would advise you to go to the home inspection side of TikTok so that those guys and gals can show y'all what you're about to get yourself into, because they are building some weak cracker box, paper thin houses, bro, that are just falling apart. There are boards. They just shoot the nail. It's like they gave Ray Charles a fucking nail gun and it choo. Like they just clip it sometimes. You'll have the whole board, the nails over here. And that's all the way down. Then you just you touch the brick, it falls off the house. But y'all are out here talking about, I just can't wait to be a homeowner. Then y'all get a house, some of y'all. And then you get screwed on the house and they don't do shit. They don't do nothing about your warrant. Now you need lawyers. You need this. You need that. Nope. I'm going to just keep renting. Be honest with you. I would stay my ass right here and rent. It might be a little expensive sometimes, but you know what? I ain't got to fix that shit.
First of all, wow. So wheat cracker box houses. Let's just unpack that for a second. What if your brand new $800,000 house isn't perfect? What in life is? Is the coffee in the break room always fresh? Is the Wi-Fi always super fast? A house isn't just a building. It's a project. It's a team building exercise for your family. Like doing puzzle pieces or building Legos. And you're not just fixing a wall, you're building character. And the whole I'm just gonna keep renting philosophy. What I'm saying is that renting is like running on a treadmill. You're sweating, you're working hard, but for all intensive purposes, you're not actually going anywhere. So when you buy a house, you're building equity. And if you're asking what equity is, I don't need to explain it. Google it. I know it, I just don't want to say it right now. Also, his point about the bad contractors is a moot point. You just have to be smart about it. You have to do your due diligence, which is a fancy term for Googling it. Like at the end of the day, a home is more than an investment. It's your castle, your Legos, your puzzle pieces, the backdrop for your life's greatest moments.
One of the biggest issues that I find a major gap in has to do with HOAs. Number one, I hate them. The power that they have and the abuse of that power is despicable in the sense of the fees that they charge for simple things. You have to provide an HOA resale disclosure package to a buyer, and as a buyer, you're going to receive it. That means that the seller has to buy a package of all the rules and a certification that verifies this is current. Are there any fines? Are there any violations? So the buyer knows what they're walking into, and then the buyer has a timeline to review. The problem is every single document in that package is electronically done and available with the click of a button, except the certificate. That is the only document specific to a property. They have the ability to take 7 to 10 business days to prepare it, and then they can charge you hundreds of dollars for doing it. And then you start thinking about the homes that have more than one association, and some of these sellers are spending $1,700 for just the HOA fees. There should be a central place having to do with HOAs, a database where HOAs are required to register and provide information, and I think there needs to be a hard line on costs they can charge.
So this person is talking about HOAs. I know all about these. It's basically like having a bunch of extra managers that you didn't ask for. She mentioned that the power that they have and the abuse of the power is despicable. Despicable like that movie with the little yellow guys. You can kind of see the comparison. The HOA board members are the Gru and the homeowners are the minions, just trying to do their jobs and maybe build a rocket ship in the backyard. She's saying every single document is electronic except one. It's like that movie, The Lord of the Rings, one form to rule them all. And it takes them 7 to 10 business days to prepare it for hundreds of dollars. My goodness. These HOA people clearly lack passion. One seller spent $1,700 on fees. For that price, you expect them to at least come over and mow your lawn for you, and maybe do your dishes. Okay, now she's getting to the solution. A central database. I like that. It's a good starting point, but she's not thinking big enough. What you need isn't just a database. You need a social network. A face home, if you will. You could like your neighbor's new retaining wall. You could post event updates for the annual cul-de-sac barbecue. You could poke the HOA president when he hasn't approved your request to repaint the shutters. It's all about creating connections. I'm a connector, a people person. You know, when you peel back all the layers of the onion here. And believe me, I'm crying from the sheer inefficiency of it all. This isn't really about money or rules. It's about communication and respect. It's about building a community where people feel heard and valued, not just nickel and dime. It's about making a house a home, you know? So the main takeaway from all this, trust your gut. Your gut is the ultimate HR department for your life. Some of these people, they had a bad feeling, but they went for it anyways because of peer pressure maybe. But at the end of the day, a house is just a box you put your family and your flat screen TV in. What really matters is the foundation. And I'm not talking about concrete, I'm talking about the foundation of love and communication. Without that, you've just got a big, expensive storage unit with a mortgage. It's a moot point. Okay, so that's it for today. Hope you liked the video. Like and subscribe, please.